Today I'm going to have a go at the myth of the strong woman. Not that strong women don't exist. There are many examples of women who are physically strong, politically strong, ethically strong, strong in conviction and skill, and intellectually and personally strong. You probably know a few strong women in your own life. But if strong women are everywhere, why does it keep being brought up as some kind of shining, magical unicorn of virtue in order to discount opposing opinions? Googling "doesn't like strong women" produces page after page of reports on Ted Cruz's recent comments about Donald Trump. As reported by Time on March 24, 2016, quote, "Donald does seem to have an issue with women. Donald doesn't like strong women," Cruz said. "Real men don't try to bully women. That's not an action of strength. That's an action of weakness. It's an action of fear. It's an action of a small and petty man who is intimidated by strong women." Well, which strong women is Cruz referring to? His wife, Heidi Cruz? It's possible, I suppose. While Heidi's struggles with depression have been noted in the media, I don't think that discounts her being a strong woman. This does put a big question mark next to Trump's wife Melania, however. Is Melania not a strong woman, and therefore Trump does not have a problem with her? The implication that Melania is not a strong woman by comparison, to me, is far more insulting than any comments about her slightly risque GQ photo shoot. Examining a list of the strong women Trump has targeted reveals Rosie O'Donnell, Megyn Kelly, Carly Fiorina, and New York Times columnist Gail Collins, among others. Seems very damning on first face. But hold up, is Trump attacking women more than men? Trump has also leveled insults at Lion Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, reportedly saying, "Lightweight Rubio, total lightweight, little mouth on him, bing, bing, bing." Senator Rand Paul's appearance, former New York Governor George Pataki, again, among others. These are all men. NBC's Peter Alexander tweeted that he's going to get insults directed at him by Donald Trump, quote, "crocheted on a pillow." So Trump seems to be an asshole in general to people opposing him, which is quite egalitarian. Yet nobody is saying that Trump hates strong men when he insults them. Oh, of course, because men are strong by default, right? Just expected to roll with it, suck it up, be a man. But women, clearly he hates them all because he says mean things. Now, I'm not a Trump supporter, but he's an excellent example of how the trope of hating strong women is currently being used as a baseball bat to further a personal and political agenda. It's not only Trump either. An Australian premier named Colin Barnett has also been tarred with this brush for having the absolute balls-out temerity to suggest that some of the female Labour MPs did not get there by merit alone, but were granted their positions in the name of liberal affirmative action values. I anticipate a similar article will eventually pop up here in Canada, given new Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's forced gender cabinet reshuffling. Taking a step back and looking at this critically, it is clear that Premier Barnett has logically excluded himself from the category of having a problem with strong women. In fact, he is stating he wants strong women in politics, but is rightly pointing out that by definition, strong women do not need special privileges to succeed, but can do so on their own merit. Unless the definition of female strength assumes they are naturally working from a fundamentally disadvantaged position, and therefore cannot be held to male standards. That can certainly be asserted in terms of sheer biological strength and endurance in some cases. In fact, I would say the majority of cases. But whenever someone is accused of not liking strong women, it never has to do with physical strength. So on a non-physical level, are these accusers really saying that women are handicapped, as in golf, and need to be given extra strokes to keep up with the men? Because that's some grade A bullshit right there. And that, more to the point, is not equality. And this brings us to the definition of strength, and who, male or female, has earned the right to be considered so. There are a variety of dictionary definitions, and there is an ephemeral, subjective aspect to strength that makes it difficult to pin down. But for my purposes, I'm going to use achieving, demonstrating, and maintaining power and personal success despite adversity. Simple, non-gendered, emphasis on the word despite, which I'll get to in a minute. Removing Trump from the Google search for doesn't like strong women reveals that this is not a new accusation culturally. I found it amusing that the first entry in Google is to a book by Phil McGraw. You probably know him as Dr. Phil, in the fact or fiction part of Love Smart, wherein, under the question of men are intimidated by strong women, fact or fiction, he lists it as, quote, fact. Men need to clearly perceive why they are needed. Oh, Phil, you glorious reductionist bastard. The gynocentrism, it burns! But it does illustrate my point perfectly. Every time the he doesn't like strong women canard gets dragged out, it is reinforcing the expectation that men need to do things for women. He for she! Excuse me. In no definition of strong is expecting other people to do things for you listed. This is nothing more than a more sophisticated version of condemning your opposition, your male opposition, not based on reason, but based on calling them a tiny-dicked neckbeard who lives in his mother's basement. To borrow from Stefan Molyneux, doesn't like strong women is not an argument. And this leads into the despite. Success despite disadvantage, not success because of disadvantage. There are people who have built careers, bank accounts, and identities around victimizing women. Like Anita Sarkeesian, Brianna Wu, Emma Sulkovitz, you probably know her as Mattress Girl, Lucy Decoutere. Well, how have these women victimized women? Because they have capitalized on the cultural lie that dictates women are always victims. There's nothing wrong with reporting on bad things that have happened to you, like Lauren Southern and the purported piss incident that still grosses me out. But furthering your personal success based on being a victim and the perceived victimhood of others in your general group is not strength. The cognitive dissonance necessary for the same feminist train of thought that can say a man doesn't like you because you're a strong woman, while simultaneously gobbling up money, benefits, care, and privilege for being said strong woman, is simply head-explodingly ridiculous. So as it stands, this particular idea of a strong woman is strictly in the realm of myth. You are not strong because you are strident. You're not strong because you're unpleasant, and you certainly are not strong because you believe you were born into victim status. But, of course, as I said at the beginning of this video, there are strong women who deserve praise and respect for the things they have done, not the things that have been done to them. And the best way to support them is to stop using the words strong women as a means to degrade any man who dares disagree with women and does not pull his punches while he does so. When you do this, you are making the words strong woman empty and meaningless. Being called a strong woman is quickly becoming the participation ribbon of gender discussion. And just remember, as a particularly shining example of strong womanhood once said, being powerful is like being a lady. If you have to tell people you are, you aren't. Thank you very much for listening.